Night, honoring your husband. Hello and welcome to the First Lady of Music, Beyoncé.
Davis party is always a highlight of Grammy weekend. The anticipation for the big show on Sunday reached a fever pitch with just the mention of two names. We hear that Beyonce and Jay-Z are opening the show. What's your reaction to that?
About time.
Ooh, that's going to be hot. That's going to be fantastic.
I think that's awesome. You know, when you have two amazing artists that have great chemistry, to open up, I think.
If you're familiar with the music business, you already know an intense battle is underway to claim the throne Clive Davis ultimately leaves behind. Although people remain focused on the harm he allegedly caused, Wendy Williams has now shared something she believes is even more alarming. Music. Beyoncé and Jay-Z are reportedly working relentlessly to position themselves as his successors. According to her, they're leveraging every possible connection throughout the industry to make that ambition a reality. Considering everything that has surfaced about Jay-Z and Beyoncé during this year alone, it's easy to understand why they might seek the influence and protection associated with occupying Clive's position. Before exploring that further, though, it's important to discuss Clive Davis himself first. The internet has increasingly criticized the part he allegedly played in the decline of major artists including Phyllis Hyman, Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston, while also grooming predators like Diddy to eventually replace him. Others even argued that perhaps Clive wasn't actually as exceptional at his profession as the media consistently portrayed him to be. Take Whitney, for instance. Clive collaborated with numerous performers, yet Whitney remains the greatest achievement associated with his legacy. It's reasonable to say she represented lightning captured inside a bottle. Her voice possessed extraordinary brilliance that would have succeeded regardless of where she performed. Clive simply happened to become the executive who signed her. Reports claim he originally opposed Whitney starring in The Bodyguard because he believed pursuing acting would ultimately damage her music career. Only after hearing the movie's soundtrack did he fully support the project. To some observers, it appeared his strategy centered on reshaping black artists to appeal more successfully to mainstream audiences. That's why he reportedly struggled with Phyllis Hyman because she refused to alter either her sound or image. People also observed that he attempted modeling singers like Shanice, Jennifer Hudson, Monica, Leona Lewis, and Deborah Cox after Whitney before eventually abandoning those efforts once realizing Whitney's success could never truly be duplicated. Still, regardless of whether you consider Clive Davis a legendary music executive, nearly everyone agreed he possessed influence and authority reaching far beyond his position at Columbia Records, making him among the most untouchable figures throughout music. Media remained significantly more restricted and tightly controlled during the 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s than today. Even then, everyone knew the FBI investigated him regarding polyola and heroin trafficking during the 70s. He also faced multiple tax-related charges and was dismissed as Columbia Records president for allegedly misusing company funds. Right now, music, it's practically accepted that he mentored Diddy, transformed him into a DL man, and ultimately unleashed a monster upon the black community.
The other part of that is we never talk about what Clive Davis did to Milli Vanilli, because those were young black men, but they looked a certain way and they were too pretty. But we have these big old fat black guys that can really sing. So we're going to have them sing, but we're going to put Milli Vanilli up. And then when it got discovered that the scam was happening, Clive Davis didn't lose a Grammy. Milli Vanilli did. Clive Davis wasn't shunned. Milli Vanilli was. Clive Davis went on and made Bad Boy, made J Records, gave Usher a record deal, built LaFace Records, did everything he wanted to do without any consequence or recompense to what he did to those young boys who were out front through no fault of their own, who were forced into that situation, and the fat black kids who were in the back singing.
During Diddy's RICO case, speculation circulated that the raid had been carried out to conceal evidence pointing toward Clive and other music executives because they had become increasingly concerned about Diddy's behavior. Word is that Clive might have persuaded Cassie to submit the lawsuit, which would explain why she felt confident enough to pursue it, music, since she believed someone powerful was supporting her. If that's what has already become public, can you picture the things that still haven't surfaced yet? Beyond Clive remaining able to walk scot-free, everyone felt genuinely afraid to challenge him. Nobody wanted to cross him because he could basically destroy your career with one phone call.
Oh, they claim he was one of the most evil producers in the game, right? Remember when TLC held him hostage in that bad contract? Oh, all right. Remember Whitney passed away the night before the Grammys? It's supposed to be his name around it. Remember they asked him about a whole bunch of stuff about P. Diddy? And he didn't say nothing? What does Clive spell backwards? Rest in peace.
There were advantages to staying in his favor because your label would provide opportunities and support that countless artists could only ever imagine receiving. With Clive finally gone, many people are wondering who will ultimately assume control. As far as Wendy is concerned, she has absolutely no doubt that Jay-Z stands among the industry's primary gatekeepers. He began as a rapper before successfully transitioning into the business side of music, made the strategic decision to marry Beyoncé, and together they created an empire where virtually everything can be traded for wealth and influence. Music, the Carters are considered music royalty, and many artists believe they must kiss the ring and flatter them, even if they already enjoy highly successful careers themselves. Lately, however, their public reputation has experienced a noticeable downward spiral. Yes, the Beehive is always prepared to defend them at any moment. Still, the internet has gradually become aware of how the Carters have operated behind closed doors. Nicki Minaj has spent quite some time accusing Jay-Z of cheating her after selling his ownership stake in Tidal while offering only $1 million for her portion despite allegedly owing her considerably more. She also accused him of suppressing her latest music because he remains bitter that Lil Wayne, Drake, and Nicki declined to sign with him. Rihanna wasn't willing to tolerate Jay after her anti-album leaked through Tidal simply to attract additional attention to the platform. He damaged the album rollout of one of his highest-earning artists for the sake of his own financial interests. Since then, Rihanna has declined to release another album. People have additionally highlighted how quickly Jay is willing to sell out black culture, pointing to how he abandoned Colin Kaepernick despite previously backing his activism and referencing his involvement with developing the Barley Center, music, that increased property values and rental costs. For someone raised in the Marcy Projects, many people were shocked by how quickly he participated in something that displaced local businesses and black, music, families from their own neighborhoods.
We know why he don't like Drake. Jay-Z don't like nobody. That's the word on the curb, Uncle Hole. They still don't like nobody. If somebody starts to get a little this, that, and the fourth, you making a call. You making a call. You making a call. That's all I'm saying. Everybody say
the chickens up. Yo, that was crazy.
Everybody know. Everybody knows. We know now.
Jay also received considerable attention within the Epstein files, where Jeffrey and his associates discussed how much they admired his business approach. In one email, they essentially claimed the reason America doesn't witness black people protesting frequently is because Jay-Z had supposedly bought them off. The narrative becomes even more complicated with Beyoncé. She has faced far more serious allegations involving witchcraft along with accusations of taking from other artists. There were also rumors claiming she and Jay ensured Beyoncé faced no real competition by suppressing any artists who might have challenged her position. Beyoncé's public image remains powerful, yet it's impossible to deny visible cracks have appeared. Right now, Beyoncé and Jay-Z's sense of desperation has reached extreme levels. They watched what happened to R. Kelly. They witnessed Diddy collapse almost instantly and can clearly recognize the warning signs ahead. The reality is, they've always wanted to stay 3 steps ahead of everyone around them. Their next move is making influential connections, calling in favors, and climbing the hierarchy until they reach the position where everything works to shield them.
The same thing that people look down on R. Kelly for, Jay-Z was engaged in the same type of activity. So my only point was, why y'all still honor him? Because y'all think he didn't, or because y'all don't know? Like, some of the facts was out there, like his artist Foxy Brown, you know what I mean? Even his business partner Dame Dash said he never wanted to sign Foxy Brown or didn't want dealings with her because of her age. But Jay-Z signed her. He had songs with her where they talking about sex and stuff like that, and she was only 15.
That's exactly why they started putting Blue Ivy to work. They had her attending red carpets and topped everything off with her first appearance at the Met Gala. But things haven't turned out nearly as successfully as they expected. If anything, many people have criticized her mature styling as being inappropriate for someone her age. People also questioned Beyoncé after she claimed Blue was ready. Like, exactly what was she supposedly ready for?
It's been talked about the whole night. B is here. Beyonce is officially here at the Met Gala. Now, B, it's been 10 years.
10 years.
How does it feel being back?
It feels surreal because my daughter's here.
And Blue looks so beautiful.
She looks so beautiful. This is it's incredible to be able to share it with her. And I think she looks so incredible.
She looks so beautiful. I'm like, we could learn some red carpet tips from Blue.
Absolutely.
I'm like,
She was ready.
She was
According to Wendy, insiders confirmed the Carters also created a strategy to show the elites they still kept the black community firmly within their influence. The first move involved announcing Jay-Z's partnership with Target for the exclusive release of the 30th anniversary edition of his debut album, Reasonable Doubt. Remember, music, the black community agreed to boycott Target after the retailer reversed its DEI initiatives. Even now, they've remained remarkably consistent about refusing to spend any of their money at Target. But if Jay could personally bring the community back to Target and bring the boycott to an end, that would supposedly prove their influence over the community and silence anyone willing to criticize them. Even so, that effort hasn't unfolded the way they expected. The black community isn't taking the bait, and they're saying Jay can leave them out of whatever stunt he plans next. Girl. The Carters have consistently been focused on the hustle. Jay even declared in one of his songs, Can't Knock the Hustle, that nobody could judge the way he earns his money. However, people will only tolerate so much before they begin calling out the BS. They want to stand on stage accepting awards while speaking about black excellence, yet behind closed doors they're exploiting their own artists and driving them into bankruptcy. For Wendy, if that's how the Carters use the influence they already possess, things would become even worse if they somehow managed to claim Clive's seat. Because nobody should ever become that untouchable. What I really want to know, though, is whether you think Beyoncé and Jay can actually take Clive's place, and who you believe will become his successor. Share your thoughts in the comments, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next music video. Bye, baddies.